If you've ever hidden your failures while hiding behind the wins you help others achieve, you're in the right place. For 9 years, I've avoided talking about how many times I've been laid off and the impact that it's had on me. 9 years. And I've avoided talking about it because it's embarrassing. Because without any context, it makes me look and sound and feel like I failed. Up until lately. With everything going on in the world and the uncertainty caused by AI, the economy, honestly, pick a reason. I took a step back and took a hard look in the mirror and at my content and what I was saying. Because here I am telling my clients and my students to show up as themselves, share the messy middle, stop hiding behind perfection. I'm doing it myself in this series. And here I am, sitting on the exact stories that prove why none of us can afford to stay invisible anymore. So let's talk about it. Here's the truth. I'm Kendra Losey, and I have been laid off 6 times. That's 6 layoffs. That is 6 times I've had to start building trust and recognition all over again, seemingly from scratch. And every time I told myself the same stories. My work speaks for itself. I don't need to self-promote. Self-promoting feels gross. The right people will find me. After all, I've won national awards for my work. But here's what happened. I was the hidden gem, the secret weapon behind everyone else's success. And when budget cuts came, when priorities shifted and new leadership arrived, the marketing budgets are always cut first. I was replaceable, or they didn't replace me at all. And when I started to figure out my next steps, I was invisible. I didn't have a personal brand. I wasn't known. You'd think that after being laid off 6 times, I'd have more loyalty to myself and my clients than the places I've worked. Up until recently, I haven't, but I do now. Earlier this year, I was helping a client create a visibility strategy. She landed a 6-figure deal because of it. She's thanking me, telling her network about me, about the results. I wasn't just giving advice that I wasn't following. I was perpetuating the same system that kept me restarting from scratch every time I was laid off in the first place. Why did it take me 9 years to start talking about being laid off all those times? Because we've been conditioned to believe that admitting struggle makes us look weak. We think, if I share what went wrong, people won't trust me. If I'm not perfect or I don't appear to be perfect, they'll hire someone else. If I admit I got laid off once, they'll think I'm not good at what I do. Imagine what that would look like if it was 6 times. But here's what blew my mind. People are more likely to trust a company with 4.5 stars than 5 stars. And when it comes to leadership, research shows that people are 73% more likely to trust leaders who share their failures along with their wins. We think showing up perfect and being perfect and perfection builds credibility, but it actually destroys connection. Meanwhile, people who just learned what you do 5 minutes ago are sharing their journey in real time, wins, losses, lessons learned, and they're getting the attention, the opportunities, the jobs, and the clients while we're busy being brilliant in private. Don't let anyone know. Don't tell anyone you're really good. See, your messy middle isn't your weakness. Your challenges, your stories, those are your superpower because it proves you're human. You've survived real challenges and you know how to navigate what your clients are facing or might face. That wisdom and perspective only you have. That focus on showing up perfect and not letting anyone see our weakness is honestly helping erase us from online and from the workforce. Here's what perfectionism and being stuck in that cycle really cost us. Every time something changes in your career, your business, you're starting from zero. Every pivot, every layoff, every acquisition, every closure, every industry shift. After every layoff, I had to rebuild relationships, prove my expertise, explain what I do, what I represent, my values over and over again. While people who shared their journey consistently had networks that already knew, liked, and trusted them. Experts with decades of experience shouldn't sound or be invisible online, but we're so afraid of looking unprofessional that we stay professionally invisible. I get it. You're thinking, Kendra, I don't want to air my dirty laundry. That's too vulnerable. What will people think? What will they say about me? I don't want to come across as desperate or worse. Let people think I have too much ego. Well, guess what? There is a difference between oversharing and strategic authenticity. You're not trauma dumping. You're sharing your lessons that prove your expertise. I was laid off 6 times. Do you know how much freaking resilience I have? How much I believe in what I teach and the importance of connecting and showing up and letting people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it? Here's what changed for me and what you can do too. First, I started treating vulnerability as a strategic advantage, selectively. My layoff stories aren't a liability. They're proof that I understand what my clients face when their worlds shift. Who knows better about starting over repeatedly, honestly, than someone who's been laid off 6 times? I've got that down. Second, I realized that waiting for the perfect story or that perfect opportunity means never sharing the story or the insights that might actually help, that make a difference. That messy middle is someone else's map and way out of where they're at. And honestly, there are people starving for your advice, insights, and to work with you. And number 3, I stopped hiding behind other people's success and started documenting my own journey, including the parts that don't make me look like a superhero. Because here's the truth. People don't hire perfect. They don't ask to talk and interview someone that's perfect. They hire and want to work with people they trust, people who are proven. And your struggles, your resiliency, those lessons learned, your perspective, that's the proof that matters. You did not work this hard to be overlooked. And your imperfect story is exactly what makes you perfectly qualified to help others. If you're an expert who's been hiding your messy middle while showcasing everyone else's wins, if you've been waiting to tell your story until it's perfect, tired of starting over every time life changes because you were not visible and no one knows what you can do, you have permission to be imperfect in public. Your struggles don't disqualify you, they differentiate you, especially from the AI. And your failures don't make you weak, they make you wise. So subscribe and follow along as I continue sharing my real story, not just the highlight reel. You'll see how strategic vulnerability builds trust faster than waiting to be perfect ever could. Because the people who need what you know, they're not looking for perfection. They're looking for your wisdom, your experience, your perspective. They're looking for proof that someone like them figured it out and can help guide them along the way. This is the Expert Growth Diaries. I'm Kendra Losi, and I'm finally sharing and taking my own advice, including the stories that matter, not just the ones that make me look good. Till next time.